Hey, all fair and love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. All fair and love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. No, I'm a different breed. A guy for sure, I'm into you, but this you into me. I shoot my shot, I play my cards, but no, I never fold. My heart been cold, but since you run the temp on up and go, take time, shit moving slow. This ain't no fuck, I'm trying to let you know. I'm trying to put a ring on it, big boulder bling on it, dip your shoulder thing on it. Take trips and show you, walk it up and go, don't think on it. My cinnamon apple, my honey, do you sweet on it. I lick between
boring, a bad thing. Not at all.
No, it should be expected. I think it's something that us elders should definitely warn, or let them know that it's gonna happen. Because children and life and work and school happens, and when it's all happening at the same time, it can get really boring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But again,
you taste so sweet, shawty. You everything I need, shawty. Please believe, shawty. You take my breath, oh gee, shawty. I can't breathe, shawty. I'm asthmatic with you. Let's go paint a future, bigger picture with them cars, rings, rocks, shoes, clothes, house, kids, white fence, whoa. Big bills paid too. Worries got none about you. Never switching, making you my missus. Sending X and O's, the hugs, the kisses. Arguments, you know they're gonna happen. Call you baby even when I'm spazzing. Love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me. I'm fair and love and war. Upgrade your life up with a real nigga, no lanes for sure. I'm about my coin, get heads and tail, y'all flop, but I prevail. My grind stay on 100, y'all on 50-50. You clutch these hoes and shifty, can't fuck with me.
Welcome.
What's goody?
It's Tuesday.
It is.
How y'all doing out there?
It is.
Welcome to He Said, She Said.
Fire.
Love and Abundance.
That's who we is.
She filling your head with he said, she said.
We here. We appreciate y'all pulling up and popping in.
What's goody?
He said, she said.
Life happens, Some of y'all will be here for the long haul. Some of y'all will pop in and pop out. It's all good. We appreciate you all.
How y'all doing?
Word.
Hope y'all having a good Tuesday.
Take a second and like the stream.
Is rolling good. Yep.
Yes.
Mrs. said like the stream.
Please. Anyone you think would appreciate the content, share.
Indeed.
Sharing is caring. Each one teach one.
Yes, indeed. Got some good people in the building today.
Yes.
I was cheating. I was scanning through the chat. Good people in the building today. Make sure my sound is right.
I was always told you sound so country. You from the South? No, it just comes up.
Hey, y'all in the building, my guy.
What's up? What's up?
Dialogue, y'all. Don't
Welcome.
forget to hit
Appreciate
that like
you pulling
button,
up
hit
and
that subscribe
popping
button.
in.
Yes, sir.
Love in the building.
Uh-oh.
Hey, love. Sound is good.
Lioness is pulling up on the spot. Harmonize. That was a show last
2024, man. Y'all ain't playing.
Not on my watch.
Harmonize. What, last night?
Last night, yes.
She said,
Fire.
hoes?
Not on my watch.
Hoes. No.
Said y'all putting us all together.
That was fire, girl.
It's too much.
Fire.
Too much.
Shout out to Almond Eyes, y'all. Hit that subscribe button over there because she got amazing content.
LIA.
Yeah,
will absolutely add your.
Click on it. She's amazing.
Your link to the chat.
Peace to the God. Bronze Flat Power God in the building.
Welcome.
Peace, God.
Appreciate you pulling up.
No, he love the babies. You know he love it. Peace to She. We here. Shout out to She.
Welcome.
What's poppin', She? Hope you're doing well. Miss T is in the
Miss
building.
T with the T is here.
Hey, Miss
Stop
T.
playing.
Hope you doing well.
Appreciate you pulling up, popping
Yes,
in.
indeed. The realest McCoy.
Awesome. Appreciate
Hope
you
you
pulling
doing
up
well.
and popping in.
Sarah's in the
Hey,
building.
always good to see you. I hope you're being safe up there. Hope you're being safe. The weather is nasty.
Absolutely. Brenda Sheets pulling in. She, we appreciate you, brother.
She filling your head with he said, she said.
We appreciate you, man. You
Salute,
pulled in for a
salute.
good one, Miss T. So buckle up. It's going to be a nice, informative show.
Yes.
And let you guys know what we about in 2024. Pushing this promote conscious parenting narrative and envelope and waving this flag.
Mhm.
And
We've
we just
always done it.
Yeah. But more notably
to you guys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
More notably to the public in 2024. Got things coming down the pipeline. It's looking very promising. So good evening to everybody.
Yes.
Johnny Blaze is in
Welcome.
building.
New sub.
What's popping? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for
Like to
joining
do
us.
that.
This is in the building.
Hey, sis. Welcome.
Red Lips. Bob is always
Who else we got in
positive.
here? Who else we got?
Donique,
Mr.
sponsor
Anthony
of the show
in
right
the
there.
building. Pulling up,
Daddy
popping
Warbucks to y'all in the chat. Put
The Santa Claus. That's the Santa Claus.
Chat, God damn it. He supports the channel heavy.
Lady Navoa's in the
Yes,
shit at.
moderation gang in the building. Said, Happy New Year. If you didn't get that from me yet, everybody. 2024 our year. Let's
got an extra day, y'all. Do something with it.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to everybody
Positive
that's
and
going to be
productive.
turning what, 3 or 4 or 8 or 9. They like 90 years old, but they only going to be turning 8 because they only get a birthday on February 29th.
Yeah.
Right? That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, but depending on the time, so I think it's before noon, you would be considered the 28th.
Okay, so it's
and,
subjective.
You know, after 12, right? I'm not sure how they personally do it,
Right.
but from growing up, you know, that's
if it was me, I would only count February 29th. When that shit come around, I got a birthday. How old are you? 4?
Right. 4 and 8.
Nigga, you
12,
look 60. Let me put my glasses on so I can read the chat.
Shoosh.
All right. Yeah, that looks a lot better too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
If you guys didn't see the thumbnail, y'all know how we get down, man. Y'all know we got y'all. Didn't tell you much.
Yeah.
Because we are reformatting our You're going to have to dive in a little bit.
Just a little.
To find out what the show is about.
There's always some info.
The description. Check out all the links. We definitely pay homage to all the, you know, information we're going to be using and where we're going to be going with the conversation. But for this week, it's when I grow up. When I grow up, and what I was thinking when I had this in mind, Mrs. Did I ask you how you doing today, cuteness?
No.
What's popping with you?
Asked me all day, but not on this show. So yes, I'm doing
what's
good.
popping with you?
It's good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
asking.
man.
Thank you.
I got my Martin Luther King and
Yeah.
Coretta on. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing some good men name get drugged.
I'm
around.
telling you.
Please.
Well, this is being said here, right? Anything happen to me after death or you, don't worry about it. Mind y'all business.
Damn.
Mind y'all business. Okay?
Disclaimer.
Don't worry about it.
Disclaimer.
It's amazing. I don't hear her complaining.
When I grow up, what I had in mind is the kids. They don't stay kids forever. You know, alluded to your show. You played a clip of a young lady that was kind of protecting her mom's honor and image and kind of seeing things different when they get 13, 14,
Absolutely.
15.
It changes.
Yeah, the perception kind of changes.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about the type of people that are in society, the type of people that have come from COVID, that have come from being socially awkward, that are cultivated in this time. These people grow up and become adults and have to interact within the world. What do you see in our future, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 years in the future? Madison's potential partner, the climate of the world at that time, Nishanti, Leah, like our family, as time progresses, we're not going to be here.
Right. Absolutely.
but the world is still going to be here.
Yes.
People say the world is going to end, but it ain't going nowhere.
Right. Right.
People might
More
throw some
generations.
bombs and we all might go somewhere.
Scatter and
but
whatever.
the world
but
is going to start repopulating and replenishing and re-nurturing itself.
absolutely.
So what do you see?
It'll humble
the
lots of people.
trajectory?
You know, and it's sad to say that something like that may need to happen for us to unite and, you know, become a more unified community.
Shit.
You know, but it's going to anarchy is going to happen first.
Right.
So,
okay.
You know, I mean, the climate is horrible. It's horrible. It was horrible when we was coming up. You know, when you come up in dysfunction, you know that cycle can continue. It absolutely has the great potential to continue.
Okay.
You know, so this is something we always talk about, us having the blueprint of what not to do. Not to say our families was totally screwed up, but we came from some dysfunctional shit.
Right.
You know, very aware, very reflective about it and transparent to ourselves. Right. Because we got to learn to understand it and not deal with that trauma and take it into our relationship and cause more toxicity. So just all of that awareness, a lot of people are not capable of doing. You know, the resilience is gone because I think we've been quite misled by the electronics, you know, the new way of life, technology, easy access, entitlement. You know, even poor kids are freaking entitled, like, you know, they got money.
Okay.
So the mindset is going to have to change. And it begins with us women because we are the creators of life. We are the first beginners of knowledge and education when it comes to these kids. And I don't think we care anymore.
Okay.
That nurture is gone. It's something that needs to be trained up now. It is not something that's just there. So we all need some training up and it's not happening.
Appreciate that.
Was that
Shout
too
out
long?
to Blaze pulling in. Nah,
sorry
sorry
for being long-winded.
It wasn't long. Shout out to World Class pulling in. I would have loved that you would have answered the question that I asked particularly though, about the kids, about 10, 20, 30 years in the future. What do you think that looks like? You know, the climate of the world, the country, the type of people they're going to have to choose from and coexist with. What do you think that looks like?
I thought I answered that. Shit, it's going to be horrible. You know, I can't say particularly, you know, intricate detail on what it's going to look like, but like this, but worse.
Okay. Okay.
You know, the insensitivity, the lack of respect.
I got you.
You know, it seems like it's a constant learning thing, especially if we've been sitting here for 3 years and watching new people come on and having the same conversations.
Absolutely.
You know, about just getting along and, you know, basic human respect, you know.
I mean, what you guys think in the chat? You know me. I think the children are the future. Whitney said it. Teach them well and let them lead the way. But if you ain't teaching them shit, it's what it looks like. It looks like what we see. A bunch of uneducated, unconscious, young people walking around looking crazy. You guys let me know what y'all think in the chat. What do y'all think the climate of the country, the world, relationships, companionships is going to look like in 10, 20, 30 years? And let me show y'all what sparked this thought.
Y'all make a New Year's resolution to disconnect from the worldwide internet in 2024?
I think people should.
I think for your own emotional and mental well-being, you should. Okay?
Yeah, I think people should.
I just feel like we're in an era where truthfully nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is going to be one of those years, especially being that it's a presidential election year. You know, you got all this AI technology.
Yeah.
Misinformation is already running rampant. By the way, it's not even that misinformation is running rampant. Sometimes the information is right there for people, but they don't care about the facts of the situation.
No, they don't want to read. They just
care
want to
about
read
their
the headlines.
feelings.
Or their feelings.
Or their feelings. Like people care about their feelings more than they do actual facts. This year is going to be, it's going to be hell to pay for how we have conditioned people over the last several years with the internet.
You know, I was talking about this over the break, and I was like, you know, it's bad now, but can you imagine 10 years from now? I don't see it getting any better.
You're going to see it
because when what people put on internet, people believe it. Like I'm looking at people's Wikipedia pages. That's just people just make things up, and people actually believe.
Well, yours is true. It says yours is a gardener.
I'm not a gardener, but go ahead.
You definitely started off as a gardener.
I was not a gardener.
But no, it's gonna be really bad this year. I can't be optimistic with y'all and tell y'all that everything is gonna be okay. I have to let us.
We're gonna stop there. We're gonna bring it back for the entire segment a little bit later. But what do you guys think? Like they said, I don't see things getting any better. in 10 to 20 years, and just think about, like they said, the type of people we've cultivated in the last years. Again, socially awkward people, COVID people,
Depressed, anxious,
obese, out of shape, no personality, no empathy, no sympathy,
vocabulary, no vocabulary.
everything's subjective. Everyone speaks like a politician. No one's curtailing this. No one's speaking up in defense of
The children.
common sense, of dignity, of integrity, of honor, of value. What does that look like in 20 years of it depends, everybody's different, I can't judge, let them do what they want to do? What does that look like?
A whole bunch of clowns running around in dresses.
Jesus Christ. What does that look
That's
like?
just visually.
All of the medication, all of the drugs, the alcohol, the weed, the pills, the gambling, the prostitution, the society that we are cultivating these people in. What does that look like for the children that we say promote conscious parenting? If you become a parent, at least understand that it's about them for the next 18 to 21 years, because you're not just raising a child, you're raising somebody that's going to eventually become an adult. What kind of an adult do you think we're going to get in 10 to 20 years from the children that you see being raised today?
You're not thinking about that.
So they're not thinking about their children living to adulthood?
No, they're not thinking about that.
So they think their children don't die young?
No.
They're not thinking about
No,
that.
I don't think they're considering, the future of it when it's happening, having sex and the babies, any of it. And then when the children come, like I say, I think people stay in a honeymoon phase with their children, especially women. We're in a mindset to rush back to work. I got to do what I got to do. You don't want to raise the kids no more. I don't care. It's a whole different mentality. So, 30 years from now, shit. I mean, you got to find like minds and get on that mindset of arranged marriages, arranged arranged family situations, even if it's not, set in stone, but there's a certain selective of families for your daughters to choose from as far as their sons. And, and it's a collective mindset because we, as the parents, are on the same page with other like-minded, adults who understand what's happening now, and the pickings are slim, and to just be that risky is it's not worth it in this time of day. Nope, not for some one night of ooh-wee. 5 minutes of Sarah chimed in.
I heard you.
I believe there will be the conscious few, but then those who continue to live carelessly, so it looks very grim.
I wouldn't disagree with that statement. Pleasantries getting exchanged. Dr. Nakumbe's in the building. What's up, Doc?
Welcome, Doc. Welcome. I mean, we both noticed over the years, it's just children have not been put at the forefront to be as important as working and paying the bills, which we all understand. It's very important, right? We understand that. But the children lay beneath, they lose out. They miss out on our presence, our time, our empathy.
Right.
Because we got to do what we got to do. So the mindset has to change in order for it to be corrected. And it begins with us, because they're only doing what we taught them. We allowed them to see and hear.
I wouldn't disagree. Again, it just, falls in line with that consciousness that we proclaim, and that, that awareness that we're trying to spark, that just like dating, intention is very important. What do you intend for this little person? Do you intend for this person to be a productive member of society, a logical thinker, problem solver, someone with grit and resourcefulness? Like, what are you looking to get out of this little person? Or do you want them to just grow up to be a bigger little person? Because I see 30, 40, 50-year-olds that are big.
Right.
They're old.
Right.
But mentally,
the maturity is
they have
definitely
no
lacking.
preparation skills. They have no articulation skills. They have no demeanor skills. I'm not even going to mention, I'm going to mention it. They don't have the ability to be well-rounded. Shooting. How you can't talk to the fellas on the corner and talk to the gentleman in the boardroom boggles me. Because everybody's so sophisticated, but that's one of the biggest indications of sophistication is respecting the circle that you're in, respecting the people that you're around.
And being able to adapt.
When it comes to
Different
these
circles.
little people, I don't know what you guys' end game is.
We used to think it was all the same, but I don't think everybody cares the same way about their legacy when it comes to their children. The last 20, 30 years, children have become an accessory for women. I can't speak for men, but for women, I've watched it.
Okay.
You bringing a child into a situation that is not conducive or productive, or, you're willing to go the long haul because it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime job. So women, I see a lot of women with the give up mentality. I'm tired, I'm drained. It's just too much. I didn't know it was going to be like this, la. And, the society has become so much easier for us when it comes to all that. Diaper genie, everything is much easier.
Well, we absolutely going to have some tips and some strategies in a little bit to go along with this conversation. But again, I just wanted you guys to kind of go down this road with me because, we purposely speak to each other to Madison. Madison is 9 now. Shout out to Maddie Patty. And we purposely, intentionally speak to her like she's going to be an adult one day. Give her scenarios, experiences, nuggets, because she's not going to be 9 forever. Right. And we want her to be able to operate independently.
And in a mature fashion. Because we take our childhood emotions into our adulthood and don't learn to control them, and have some restraint. So you have to learn that as a child. Not to say children can't be emotional and blah, 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 but they need to know the real deal. Like your emotions is not going to get you money out the bank. Crying and having a fit on the floor will not get you any of that.
This is true.
And it's not just with Maddie, with all our kids. I didn't play that. When they got around other children or other adults and they come over with the baby talk, I used to be like, don't do that. Oh, boo, boo, good guy. Yeah, don't do that. Please speak words, say sentences, and talk to my child. And I was shamed for it. I think you are a person who wants my child to articulate words
absolutely
properly.
Donnie checked in. What he said?
He said, I think there is a break in time from when children were raised to when they were birthed.
Okay. So when you birth them, you take a little bit of a break while you raise him. That's that's interesting. OG Patrice on the check-in. Hey, OG, hope you're doing well this week. We are having a discussion, OG Patrice, about when I grow up. Just having a conversation about when these children become adults and what kind of adults we want them to be. And that's where conscious parenting comes in. The mindfulness, the intention of wanting these little people to become positive individuals, to become productive members of society and functional people, because children become adults.
That's right. I mean, God willing,
So let's get back to the Breakfast Club and what sparked this thought in my brain, and let's kind of break it down, Mrs. Harris.
Illusion to disconnect from the worldwide nigga net in 2024.
I think people should.
I think for your own emotional and mental well-being, you should. Okay?
Yeah, I think people should.
I just feel like we're in an era where, truthfully, nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is going to be one of those years, especially being that it's a presidential election year. You got all this AI technology.
Yeah.
Misinformation is already running rampant. By the way, it's not even that misinformation is running rampant. Sometimes the information is right there for people, but they don't care about the facts of the situation.
No, they don't.
What do you think about that so far? The information is right there for us. You know, a lot of people demonize YouTube, demonize cell phones, demonize smart technology, but it's just an option. It's available to you to use for what you want.
Right.
If you use it for nefarious reasons, if you use it and see only bad things, and that says a little bit about your algorithm, your personality.
Yeah. I mean, and it gives them reason for plausible deniability. How many times since this internet has been in existence, when our children come ask for some things and something's not right at them, like, you got the phone, you have it, we have a laptop, you know, research it. So all you got to do is put it in Google. You'll get more information if we don't have enough on hand, you know. So just always constantly having to tell them to utilize it for more than just social media, you know.
And he also said that, you know, lies are more entertaining than the truth.
Absolutely.
And people are willing to accept lies without doing the research, and they have all of the capabilities right in front of them. So there's no one to blame but yourself. We want to take that opportunity to shout out our investigative department.
Yes.
And by investigative department, I mean, you know, Mrs. Harris and Red Lipstick Vibes. But these ladies showed me something, you know, that whenever someone invites you on the panel, someone wants to jump up on your panel, you got to do a little bit of investigating about them first. I'm going to need a little bit of time. And you go down your rabbit hole. And, you know, the missus, even people who in her stories, people who like in her pic, she's on it. Like, I got to see who these people are. And that eliminates the plausible deniability. I didn't know. I don't know what's going on around here. That's no excuse for you not to have an investigative department. Some people that care about the best interests of your channel, of your stream, the dignity of your platform, to not allow anybody to come up and be an imposter, be a chameleon, be a perv, because they are. So what do you think, Mrs. Harris? Truth being less entertaining than lies, and what do you think about that whole thing? And the investigative department?
I agree with everything you said. You know, what more can I really add? I think I've been saying all year, you know, accountability, you know, my truth. This has been a woman's motto for how many years now? I don't even know when that shit started, but you know, that my truth shit. But the other side has truth too. So who we supposed to believe? You understand? Two sides to a story, and then there's the truth. So, you know, accountability feels like an attack when one is not ready to acknowledge their behavior. So
Sarah checked in.
She said, everyone talks about emotional intelligence, but not everyone presents this. I can move in any circle I am in. The face they make when they realize I'm black. Seriously, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Or when you start talking.
And again, and it's fun. I think that is such a skill, to be able to understand pop culture and, you know, history and worldly things, and then know about Showtime at the Apollo and a good episode of Martin. Some people can't do that.
Right. Like, I never seen that. I ain't never seen that. Even black people never seen, you know, certain types of black movies or TV shows.
And once you become this character, you can't turn it off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're always in character. And the minute you slip up trying to keep up with the character instead of just being you, if you is a lame, just be your lame self, man. Just be you. People will accept you and then move and adjust accordingly. But when you play this character, you got to remember that character every day, not us.
I mean, it's a lot of lost sheep walking around. Like you said, you know, people just want to, what did he say about the information being put out there and nobody checks for if it's true or not. I mean, I think it's the way of this land. Everyone has been handed this Bible, but depend on somebody else to interpret it for them. The fuck? You understood that? You sit down and read it and interpret it for yourself. Find your faith and belief and knowing in what you know. You don't have to have it waver and questioned, such. So, you know, Again, research, read.
I hear you.
Poor
Amina checked in. She said, absolutely. I have learned so much about fellow content creators by doing some research.
Mhm.
It's some frauds that are loved in this space.
Mhm.
Amina's 78.
This is a work of art.
You ain't never lied. Shout out to Mona D. You ain't
Hey.
never lied. And you know,
The
just the journalistic integrity that these content creators deserve. You deserve to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I'm up here, and it's not like it's the first time. Multiple panels you've been on. We can have somebody do a little research. Dive that name, man. Research that. What they about out here.
Yeah.
Again, it just eliminates the plausible deniability, because in a circle of such intelligence, like Sarah said, the plausible deniability is crazy. Social media has so many minds in a script. It does. It's the overload of information, like they
Yeah.
were talking about in here.
It's crazy.
It's the overload of information.
Missing sleep too.
It's a
It's
lot.
not healthy.
A lot. Not to change the subject, but did y'all hear about the tunnels found in Brooklyn, New York?
We used to run through them, sis.
Yeah, we heard
No,
about
just
it.
kidding.
We did hear about it though. Yeah, interesting. We gonna see what that develops.
Mhm.
Always something.
I
New York
mean,
City is something.
I'm not surprised here.
New York City
That
is
surprises you.
Sis checked in. What did she say?
I'm surprised. Shame.
I think I see what she said.
Shame.
What did I say? I can't. Letters is kind of small.
Shame. I signed it.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Sign language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get back to the fellas.
They don't want to read. They just
care
want to
about
read the
their
headlines.
feelings, and not
Or their feelings,
Or their
yeah.
feelings. Like people care about their feelings.
Oh, you caught that part.
Yeah, I
You
mean-
said they don't want to read.
We've been here 3 years and we got a park in the back. So spending a lot of time with these kids, with your children, who admits that they don't like to read. Most of them don't know how, not to the degree that they should at the age that they are, but they know how to use them phones. They know how to use that mouth potty.
Shame.
All that. You know, be bullies, know how to hustle you for the candy, like all of that. They're very intelligent, but missing out as far as what the society says that they need to learn that is going to be important when they become adults. Knowing how to write and spell and read, okay? Just the basics up to like 7th grade. You know, you get there, you can get through. You can waiver, you can get through, man. But they're not even on 4th grade level, so it's kind of sad.
Read the
their
headlines.
feelings, and not
Or their feelings,
Or their
yeah.
feelings. Like people care about their feelings more than they do actual facts. This year is gonna be hell to pay for how we have conditioned people over the last several years with the internet.
You know, I was talking about this over the break, and I was like, you know, it's bad now, but can you imagine 10 years from now? I don't see it getting any better.
You're going to see it
because when what people put on internet, people believe it. Like I'm looking at people's Wikipedia pages. That's just people just make things up, and people actually believe.
Well, yours is true. It says yours is a gardener.
I'm not a gardener, but go ahead.
You definitely started off as a gardener.
I was not a gardener,
but no, it's gonna be really bad this year. I can't be optimistic with y'all and tell y'all that everything is going to be okay. I have to let us know what it is that we're going to be facing. We all have to be prepared for the onslaught of misinformation that is going to happen in 2024 because it is a presidential election year. And I really pray that something catastrophic doesn't happen because of social media, like some Orson Welles War of the Worlds type madness.
If you didn't see it, you should definitely see that movie, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds. You just said that, though. You said it would take a common enemy, some sort of a catastrophic event to band us all together with some unity to kind of self-correct or course-correct.
I mean, it would stop us from having these in our face, too.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't nothing disastrous, even if there was some type of weather disasters all over the damn nation,
right?
And all the Wi-Fi So that means it messes up everything. GPS, it messes up everything. Planes, y'all know how it do. And they're capable of doing any of those things, man. But our children and us, we are not prepared for things like that. And it's still real life living here, regardless of all the privileges that have been set for us mere humans. Yeah.
If you don't know what Orson Welles' War of the Worlds is, do your Googles. Basically, if I remember correctly, Orson Welles was a fictional story about somebody who was doing a radio broadcast, and he was telling people that we were being attacked by aliens, which we just saw. Last week, we thought we were being attacked by aliens in Miami.
They said that was a shadow.
but here's my thing.
They said that was a shadow. See, that's some more fake news.
But when I saw the story, I'm like, in an era where people pull out their phones for every damn thing. There's 8-foot, 10-foot aliens walking around the mall in Miami, and nobody pulled out a cell phone and recorded it.
They said that was a shadow.
Not one person.
See, now, if somebody...
But the fact that we even believe that, you just in this era, you think all you're going to see is an overhead camera shot from a helicopter?
Yes.
Come on, man.
But you know why? Because somebody like you posted it on your Instagram and said, are there aliens? So people be like, see, I knew there was aliens.
That's not what I said. What I actually... You want to read the caption?
What did you say? See, I didn't read it. I just seen the picture and I was like, see?
See?
Right there.
He says stuff.
Ain't he the one that said in the beginning, people don't read?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And by the end of the damn video, Charlemagne is like, that's not actually what I put. Did you read it? And he said, nope, I didn't even read it.
I just looked at the picture.
And this is exactly the consciousness that I'm talking about. Like, we are the very people who we try not to be.
Yeah.
We say we're not. That's where the imposter, the chameleon, comes in. I hear you say you this person, but what do the receipts say? What do the results show? What lines up? And I don't want to hear, I don't know about nothing that go on around here, because again, you in my presence.
You out here.
Where's your consciousness?
You better know. You better be looking to the left and looking to the right.
And this consciousness is lacking within our individual self, within our parenting, within the way we bring up our children. And it's showing. And again, these children have to grow up to be adults, pick other adults to coexist with, and everybody's temperamental, pre-offended, hyped up on all types of medications. How is this going to be fruitful in the future when these children that we love so much become adults?
I mean, that's why the prison system is a business, and they're building more. That's where they're going to end up. That's where the indoctrination comes in, the school. Just watching Cypher's 18 now and going into pre-K 3. You remember that? Baby wearing uniforms and all of that. And like I said, I've always been an in-school parent, very present, as well as hubby, me more so. So going to school every day with this child, this 3-year-old, and it was a regular school day. It wasn't like a half a day or nothing. Uniform. And the kids were informed. They were instructed to walk with their hands behind their backs and a bubble in their mouth when they were walking in the hallway. They looked like little inmates. Everybody with their tan pants and their little white shirts and their black shoes. Couldn't move or, act like a child. They had to sit still. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much for 3-year-olds, So I spent a lot of time in class. I scheduled my college classes around school, so I would have that extra time in the morning and have classes after to where I'm there at the end of class just to help the teacher. It's a lot. So, we got to get that mindset back. Be more present in school, ladies. But again, it's hard. They don't care. I'm sorry, y'all. Ladies, mothers have this nonchalant, I don't care mentality, even when it comes to their children. So if they're not being called out by the family members around them about being a fucked up mother, a horrible parent, then it's going to continue. So it's on us to point out, right? Got to be mandated reporters all the way around, even when the kids are being neglected. It's crazy.
Understandable. Sis said no comment. Blaze checked in. He said Nas' song Second Childhood perfectly sums up the society we currently live in and have been living in for many years.
Okay.
30
Need
years
the kids to be raised by the teachers. And again, my point is all of these people are raising children to become bigger, larger, heavier children. They're not raising adults.
You want to raise great adults, people who are able to go out into the world independently and make good choices on their own because they actually care, not because they were forced. Adults who are able to be trusted and who can raise the next generation. So we know the way to do it. Maybe it's frustrating to hear it phrased this way, but I'm going to say it as it is. There's no other educational method that will work. There's only one way to do it now, and that is to see your child as a soul with everything that that means and everything that that entails.
Raise adults.
See your child as an adult. My baby. This my baby.
What type of results do you want to get? I think that's the ultimate question, because children become adults. Can you see the future?
Absolutely not.
I could.
You can be intentional and move purposely.
I could. I could see the future. I could see where we're going. I could see where the children will be 30 years old, 40 years old, walking around, lost, very emotional, volatile, destructive, dysfunctional,
like
because we didn't parent consciously. We didn't say, it's not about me no more. It's not about me no more. It's about these children. I want them to be better than me. I want them to have more than me. I want them to do different than me. These are things that I thought we all said to ourselves walking down the street on our way home from high school, on our way home from our boyfriend or our girlfriend's house, on our way home from a soccer game. I thought we cultivated the type of family we wanted, the type of wife, the type of husband, the type of children, the type of house, the type of function. We didn't want no arguing, and I didn't think we wanted breaking up. But it seems like some people are walking around like, I can't wait to get with somebody to break up.
Can't wait to get this.
And then blame every goddamn body for what they did, make people pay for what they did. I can't wait to have a baby by him to break up with him before the baby even come.
Right. The mindset.
I can't wait to get married to her for her to leave me and take half my money and my pension. Is this what you were cultivating in your mind? Because again, the best thing you can do for your child is be good to the person that they came out of.
Wow. Even if you ain't in love with their ass no more.
We could be respectful, cordial, polite, coexist.
Yeah.
Professional, even.
It speaks louder than you think.
We don't have to be at each other. So I could see the future from what we're cultivating. And this is why we say promote conscious parenting.
Because their consciousness is going to awaken when you don't even realize it. And when they start judging you, pointing the finger at you or telling you you should do something different, that shit can start around 7. You know, most of it 11, 12, they might feel a little more confident, but yeah, their consciousness awakens, you know, and parents, they don't want to listen to their kids. But I think it's the mindset of creating wealth, that what they be saying, generational wealth. This is what they be saying, but they take it out of the legacy of integrity and, you know, education and wisdom and, you know, those types of things, any types of skills. It's all about money. So the only way we can do that is everybody's at work all the time. But how much wealth are you going to really get with the 9 to 5 and, you know, the hustle and bustle, you know,
the first
the kids is missing out.
Blow all. Shout out to all the generational wealth builders.
I mean, look at the entertainers, grown ass kids, all the stuff they was going through last year. Yeah, they ungrateful. They don't care as much as you do. They did not work as hard as you did. Conscious parenting.
So promote conscious parenting. That's what we do over here. I want to play a video for you guys. Let's go ahead and go with this one. Check this out.
And on social media, you have come across the phrase conscious parenting. Everybody talks about it, but people rarely talk about why it's so important. Conscious parenting, when you apply the mindset of parenting this way and when you apply these skill sets, what you're doing is you're setting your children up for success in future. What that means is they are going to grow up to be adults who will be able to advocate for themselves in their professional environment. They'll be able to ask for raises, for promotions. They will be able to talk about their desires and emotions and feelings in relationships, so they can get what they need for a strong romantic relationship or a marriage, and they can take those skills and employ it in their children's life. So helping generations moving forward. It will also help them be confident in themselves. It will help them have a self-belief, a self-esteem, an identity that's not tied to anything else. So in general, this is something that will make them a more well-rounded, more fulfilled human beings.
What you think so far, Mrs. Harris?
I mean, I agree with the things that she's saying. We definitely want our children to be well-rounded and feeling fulfilled with themselves, so they can in turn fill someone else, some and their children. And that's like not what we're doing. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The abundance that comes from consciousness, from purposely filling your own cup so that it can spill over into someone else's cup. And again, the well-roundedness, the consciousness, the being able to advocate for themselves, being able to express themselves and get a raise, or be in a romantic relationship. That's two different dynamics.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Being able to interchange, differentiate, understand the difference between. I don't see a lot of people that even know how to articulate themselves in different arenas. They focus on how loud you were talking and your cadence and your inflection versus the information and how interchangeable it can be or where it came from.
Right. I agree.
So, for me, the consciousness is purposeful, and the well-roundedness, that's really the reward. I love seeing our daughter go from work in the fashion world and makeup and all of the dainty, artsy fartsy, and then she goes to the model world and taking pictures, and then the nightlife with her friend who's a DJ, and she's on the set. Like these worlds are different.
Yeah. I mean, and have to navigate through the despair and dilapidation of Baltimore City,
Okay.
skill set to have. So, shout out to her.
But that consciousness, creates that balance within the children, because they're not going to always be children. They're going to be adults one day. And I think we really lose sight of that. Like, I want to raise an adult, not somebody that's 32 years old, but acts like a damn child.
Right.
Not one of the sisters that Sister Ali described that are 14 years old mentally until she gets some new information, until she humbles herself to take some direction from an authority figure. I want her to be able to not only recognize that, but have valuable information instilled within her, self-esteem in her, self-respect in her.
Right.
So when she sees that partner, they can build.
That would be good. It's not that type of formal training that everyone is getting, being able to coexist and communicate effectively. How do you get that? You have to know that you are not capable of doing that in order to know that you need to do better, change. So again, nobody likes correction. We become a society if you can't say anything to anybody, so where does it begin where that correction starts to happen?
Indeed. Shout out to Karma checking in. Drive safe, sis.
Hey, love.
Keep your eyes on the road. It's nasty out there.
Yes.
She said, if you don't have to go out in this mess, don't. She's listening while driving. So drive safe, Karma Coleon.
Okay.
Doc checked in. What's poppin', Doc? Hope you're doing well, man. You got a question for us. He said, what are your thoughts or responses to parents that think this way? I am conscious. Them damn kids need to be conscious and wake up to what I'm telling them. I've done all that I'm going to do. I've done all that I'm going to do.
I mean,
got to say it like a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So what
That's what
Mrs.
she's
Harris,
saying.
what
They done.
would you say
I mean, again,
to
that's
that response?
I say that it's a mindset. I don't think everybody, is gonna move the same way. We can't assume that this world is full of everybody thinking the same way, especially women having these children. Men too, but I'm talking to the women.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who say that. I don't know what to say to them. It would be, I mean, you're gonna get what you give. So if you give your children nothing, you're probably gonna get nothing. Some people don't want to do the work, and it is people out there. Even regardless of what we say, how much critiques you can give them, ain't gonna be no change.
Okay.
Can't save everybody. I feel for the kids.
Indeed. Let's see if I can approach it different. I would say, we appreciate your consciousness because, like they said in their answer, I am conscious. So, with that consciousness, you understand that there's always more knowledge to get. Again, like sand on a beach. It's always more that you can get. So, the best interest of this little person is the goal. It's the overall goal. So any tools that we can learn, any different,
You're good. You're good. Me, I'm cutting dry.
We
Bitch.
can use.
The fuck?
We can use them. And I think that
ignorance.
they're worth considering using those strategies.
Absolutely.
Again, different people.
I've done all that I'm going to do. What did you do? Did you make structured charts? Did you make a time scale where they know what's needed to be done, what could be done later, what has to be done now? It's a lot of things that can be done.
Absolutely.
But that dismissiveness just shows me that you're not ready to do the work. You don't even want to do the work. So, trying to force someone to do the work for the sake of the child is going to be kind of hard at this point.
Got you.
It really will be hard. They have to know that they need to change in order for their children to change.
Okay. Also on the check-in, what up, fam? He said, what's poppin', fam?
Hey, now.
Okay.
Part 1. Seeing that you both seem to know the need for it, do you offer any suggestions on how a parent or a different culture can get tips, ideas of modeling how to do it? Different cultures, they got it down pretty well, to be honest.
Right.
Other cultures,
we seem to be the ones
understand
struggling.
the hierarchy.
Hispanics are dual, speaking English and Spanish.
Multiple language
I don't know.
I think it's pretty sound in other cultures.
I mean, it's always, there's an abundance of suggestions. It depends on what their need is. Some people have children who have an over excessive energy. Some have struggles with math. Some just have struggles with reading. Some have struggles with being independent and staying on task. So it really depends on what they need, because there's always some type of strategy, redirecting. And again, it begins with the parents. I'm sorry, your children are not the problem.
Absolutely.
It's you. So if you are not ready to look in the mirror, it's going to be kind of hard to change that dynamic, because the work is going to start with you. It has to start with the parents.
Got you.
Kids are willing to, but you have to follow up.
Again, that's why we wave our flag on consciousness, because you're going to be able to be honest and transparent about things that you can do better as a parent.
Right.
So, maybe we would start there with a self-assessment, like, what do you think that you can
your
do
weaknesses?
What do you see that, you may fall short when it comes to nurturing and development of your little ones, and then kind of go in from there. So that's why, the wording is very important and operative. The consciousness of parenting means you either understand that there's things you could be doing better to make this younger person better, to grow up to be a more conscious adult, or you don't understand. And again, that's when you should be crying out for help. You should say, I need help with these kids because I just don't have the tools, the understanding, and the wherewithal, the know-how to, continue helping these kids develop. And I want them to develop.
Right.
That's the desire. That's when it's not about you
Where
anymore.
do I start?
I might not have the tools. I might have had a horrible mother and never knew my father, but I don't want them to have that outcome. I don't want them to be without a high school diploma. I don't want them to be. So what I'm going to do is say, somebody help me with these damn kids. So, it's that consciousness, that humbleness, being willing to get out your own way.
And we have so many people who have had, like you said, horrible environments that they grew up in, and to them, what they're giving to their children is 10 times better than what they had. You understand? So I don't feel the need to do more, do better, because, they got this, that, like how we say, y'all got parents, y'all have what me and daddy didn't, we don't care about the money, the house, but y'all got a mommy and daddy who actually like each other, So I see that dynamic.
What Doc say, part 2?
Without having someone threaten to take the kids away because they don't like what they see and or didn't give the parents a chance to learn and grow and make the changes needed. Without having someone threaten. Yeah.
Goes in the chat. Are you able to name at least 2 things that you suggest as a way to increase parenting with consciousness or help to support the message the SEDS are
that's awesome.
offering?
Okay.
Dope. Totally dope, Doc. Appreciate that, man. Y'all chime in.
It's not a one size fits all method, and that's just like with marriage. One size don't fit all. How we do it may not work for somebody else, but the basic integrity, foundation, respect, those things are intact. I totally agree with you both, and I agree it must start with the parents. It's not about the kids and what they are doing. It's more about what are you doing to make intelligent decisions for your children. Yeah,
absolutely.
Or create an environment for your children to make intelligent decisions for themselves. Because that's a part too. We are constant dictators instead of giving them the opportunity to kind of plan their day so they can be responsible for the decisions that they created for themselves. Like you created that chore for yourself and you need to stand on it. You said you was going to do it at 3:00. It needs to get done. So, until we have to do some of that too. But, it doesn't come with a book, but there are a lot of books to help be a good parent. You got to look for them. It's a lot of stuff out there. Lost in Translation is in the building. Blazes. He said, I'm not a parent, so I'll only make a minor suggestion. Parents could try to keep a progress journal. Absolutely. When it comes to raising their children in a conscious manner. And you know what? It starts at baby showers. We get these baby books and, some people fill them all out, but then you have some people who will fill in a couple of things and don't fill in the rest, or, it goes and sits under the cabinet and nothing else is filled in. So there you go. But those journaling is great. That is a great suggestion. I mean, and it's a release for women. I'm going to speak for myself. Because after you have a kid, you go through a lot, ladies. There's a lot going on emotionally, hormonally, physically. So to keep that journal is important because you can reflect back on how you've been feeling. Because a lot of our emotional uproars and has a lot to do with the fluctuation of the hormones. And we don't know shit about that, most of us. So those kind of conversations definitely need to start being had, in abundance with women, in these showers. Always say that a baby shower should be all kind of lessons happening, preparing this young mother for what's ahead. And I mean, the stories, experiences, the future of that child, but it has become a fucking party for everybody else, alcohol and, spend the most stuff and people get mad because you didn't buy this and that. Like this is where we are. So I apologize to the future children. It's not your fault. Trying to work on the parents now. So
Trying to work on them now, please. Doc said, good looking out for answering the questions. That part, yep. Take care of themselves. Nice is in the building. Nice one.
Brother.
What's cracking, cuz? Hope you're doing
Rolling
nice,
ratchet.
man. Hope everything is good, man. He said, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, appreciate you.
We talk about conscious parenting today. Nice. The title of the show tonight, sir, is When I Grow Up.
When I grow up.
And the concept behind it is, you know, our kids, they're going to grow up to be adults. And sometimes I think us parents, we don't parent them consciously with the mindset that they're going to be adults one day. I think we, you know, coddle, enable, fantasize them through their childhood. They become these larger individuals that are still children, but they're just 200 pounds and 40 years old, you know, coincidentally.
Yeah.
And we were just checking out this young lady that was giving us some information about conscious parenting. Let's go ahead and bring her back.
Entity that's not tied to anything else. So in general, this is something that will make them a more well-rounded, more fulfilled human beings from when they're little to when they're grown up and out into the world. But most of all, what it will do is it will solidify your relationship with them in such a way that when you're 80 years old and they're 40 years old, they will want to be around you by choice, not out of obligation. So what is conscious parenting? Conscious parenting is allowing your children now, when they're little, to make choices for themselves. So little things like picking out the clothes they want to wear, picking out what movie they want to watch, picking out what they want to have for dinner. It's allowing them to express the emotions and feelings freely without you judging them. All you need to do is hold a space for them to express whatever it is they need to without criticizing them, without judging them, without telling them that their emotions and feelings are not valid. These are just some of the things. All of it cannot fit into this three-minute video. So start conscious parenting now so you can raise a child who is going to be a well-rounded, fulfilled individual.
What do you think, Mrs. Harris?
Well-rounded. I love that. I mean, I agree with her tips and strategies. I mean, and it's hard being a parent. So, you know, learning and growing as you go is important, you know, learning to, you know, give yourself grace.
Okay.
For not knowing, you know, but you should definitely be eager to want to learn more because there's a lot of information out there versus 30 years ago, you know, at the tip, literally at the tips of your fingers. So the excuses and stuff is, let's stop making them, you know, because our children will grow up to be adults. They don't stay little forever.
Indeed. Sarah checked in. She said, promote parenting by encouraging reading.
Absolutely.
I was thinking of doing a bedtime story time. I know all my kids are grown, but maybe that will bring closer with their parents with spending this time reading. Absolutely. And it creates a, you know, appetite for reading, for books.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one thing that doesn't stop. And again, parents, you got to take care of yourself because you get overwhelmed, you get drained, and where you don't want to put your energy is where you should put your energy, and it's with children. So that's a great suggestion. That has always been our thing, the 4 B's. That
would be
bath, bottle, book, bed. You know, of course, bottle turned into snack. So, absolutely. You know, but that's what it was. It was a regular routine. So the child knows that this is what's happening next. And I'm telling you, 60 days of doing that with an infant, it's going to be so repetitive that they expect it. You know, their body is normally already set to go to bed and do those things. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do as parents to make their life more functional when they become adults.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doc is exchanging with Blaze. Parents, step and uncles and aunties, do you have any suggestions for any good journal books with a good cover on it so design could be put on it and given as a gift?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, one of our local stores, Five Below, always has great, inexpensive journaling
Journals,
books for
absolutely.
different age brackets too. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, check
All right,
that out. It's
let's bring
always
the
something
sister
journaling.
back for part 2, and we're gonna get her out of here.
Why is conscious parenting important? It is important because if you don't employ these skill sets and you don't create an environment where your child can thrive.
She said the child can thrive, not just maintain,
Right.
not just
Survive.
survive.
Oh, Lord.
Shooting.
Thrive. Mrs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a thriving environment is a clean one first, foremost. Clean and, it's for the most part tidy, organized, and it's hard. That's why you have to train them, teach them to do it so they will do it. You don't always have to, and it is a part of managing. So you have a lot of people who go out into these jobs and they manage these people, but they can't manage their children. It's amazing to me. So, um, yeah. Is there a question in there?
No,
I went
just speaking
off.
to the thriving, just the sentiment, the articulation of not just getting by.
Right.
Again, it's about what we prioritize. And if we prioritize thriving, not just growing up, but thrusting out of this community, out of this environment, but just moving forward in such a fashion that's undeniable. We want you to thrive. We want to give you the tools, the strategies, the articulation, the vocabulary, the confidence, because these things are going to make you well-rounded, and that's where thriving comes in. Not just people that are passionate when it comes to a bitch sucking dick. If not, she could get the fuck up out my shit. Ask that motherfucker to read 3 paragraphs in a row.
Yeah, that's a 9-year-old. Yeah.
But I'm not surprised, because ask them to twerk on the couch and they'll do it in a minute. But ask them to clean the couch. Ask them to show up to work on time. Ask them to stay an extra hour. But they'll stream for 9 hours.
Shit. The kids don't want to work. All them young folk, most of them have horrible attitudes and demeanors. I don't even know how it's okay to have buds and be on your phone working
at work.
And they all do it. It's amazing. Like, so,
Again, no
what
one
the
wants to
hell?
thrive at work, even if everybody is doing it.
Nope.
How about I not, so that I stand out and I could get the hell out of this cashier position and up through the ranks in 3 months, because I was serious.
We might be the last generation of that. And I think that's where it always came with me, because the blueprint of what not to do. So you have families who come up in these horrible situations, and you would think, right? You would think that they have their children and they want different for them.
You would think.
But they're creating the same dynamic and don't care. And then you have people who grew up in that goodness, and some of them wind up doing the opposite. So, we're here in a whirlwind, and anybody looking for any suggestions or tips, we out here.
You don't create an environment where your child can thrive, it is going to make your child be somebody who can't ask for a raise at work.
Can't ask for a raise at work.
I mean, it's America. Most people are pussy. I can't even say it's from men to women. Just say all of them. They don't want to ask for nothing. People just don't want to hear no. Right? I won't hear no if I don't ask.
Can ask for promotion at work, who cannot talk about what they want in a relationship.
Sound like a lot of these adults right now.
I hear you.
So
in terms of their desires, wants, and likes, who will not be able to advocate for themselves, who will not be confident, who will not know how to make the right decisions, who will feel guilty about every action they make or take, who will feel uncomfortable putting themselves first even when they should.
Even when you should. Even when you should love yourself, have that self-love, self-confidence, like self.
Not to be selfish. Because good Lord, I'll take that. Self-love, self-aware to mean selfish. No, it doesn't mean that. She's spitting some jewels.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Your child is also going to grow up not having the social awareness of what's good for them, what's not good for them. They will always be looking for validation from other people, from you now, from friends, from the partner or the spouse, from the bosses when they grow up and are in the work environment. And all of this just leads to a human being feeling empty, not satisfied, and some also go to the extent of using narcotics and drugs to find that fulfillment, to fill the void and the emptiness that's within them. And so how do you create an environment of conscious parenting so your child can grow up into somebody who can advocate for themselves, who can stand their ground and say, no, this does not work for me, who can also break generational cycles and raise their child in a better way, who can ask for what they want in their marriage, in their relationship, from their partners, from their workers, from their friends in a work environment, a person who is confident in themselves, a person who's not seeking validation from external factors. This requires you to be mindful of what your actions are doing to your child. It seems very simple, and this is something that's taken me 20 years to work on and harness. Why? Because I was raised in a very non-conscious way, and I grew up to be very resentful towards my parents and the people who raised me. And so I've done the work to get over that. And
Very resentful to her unconscious parents. You again start to look back in hindsight, and like you played on your show, that young teenager was starting to see things different. This is my mom shaking her ass on this screen. It's a lot of men looking at this screen. They're going to see her ass. And she was blocking it and shielding it. You alluded to blocking and shielding your mom's booty. Like,
right, and she wasn't even twerking. And she wasn't doing none of that stuff. She just walking down the street.
So
like
again, you know, these kids, they start to develop personalities. They live around us for 18 to 21 years, sometimes even more. They get a perception of us, the way we act, the things we do. They're not going to be kids forever.
No, because even if you're not telling them, you're showing them something, and they're going to pick it up. Yeah, but that environment plays a big part, and I think we believe now, as long as we house the children, and you know they got some food, don't have to be healthy food, just some food, you know, it's enough. And it's not just talking about the people who are living in poverty. It's people who have money. You guys are not present for your kids. You're really not as conscious as you think, you know? So.
I hear you, missus. I hear you. All right. Before we get out of here, man, we just want to let y'all know that Love in Abundance Hospital is now open. It's like a hospital. Oh, it's definitely medicine in here. But it's more than just one room in a hospital. It's different departments and factions. And I'm not sure if, you know, us swinging our flag and waving our flag of shame.
Shame.
Always gonna be has become the name that everyone sees on the front of our building. And that's what's crazy about it, Pumpernickel. Shout out to Pumpernickel on the set.
Okay.
y'all close the door.
Pumpernickel said, why y'all lock me in the basement? And he said, tell everybody up there to don't forget to hit that like button.
Okay.
And if you're feeling good, support the stream if you would like. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Share it with others.
But the hospital has different rooms. And like I said, you know, the Shane moniker is kind of the name everyone sees on the front of the building now, instead of all of the different rooms that's inside of the hospital. Because we have, like triage. If you're not that bad, you just looking for some love and abundance. We got a triage room every Tuesday with love and abundance. And that's for triage. Minor, get your temperature checked. And then you might need something a little more cerebral. So we go to Saturday, which is, you know, more
kind of dig a little deeper.
Absolutely.
More psychological.
Come and have a good time with G.O.D.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can kind of see your primary, get a referral, whatever you need to get done over there. Let's go ahead and approach that, you know, cerebrally. And then Sunday, if you need emergency care.
Yeah. You need that hard doctor that's going to
when
say,
you need, like shock, like bring them back. Like
Heimlich maneuver. Got to do all
Not on my watch.
That's Sunday.
Child, I'm choking, man. I'm choking.
You know what I mean? So again, you know, maybe we just have to approach it a little different in 2024, Mrs. Harris. Promote conscious parenting. Check in to the hospital if need be, because we out here.
Politically correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm that nasty medicine. I'm that nasty medicine that you don't want to have to take. You don't want to have to take the nasty medicine. So, you know, so you should stay in the kitchen, try to get the good, healthy vegetables and fruits, drink that water.
Damn.
Before you get to Sunday, you know.
I mean, it would be operative. You get to Sunday, it's
consider those things.
Not on my watch.
Sunday gets, you might be.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Sunday might be a bit much.
Yeah, I'll be right on in my feminine. You mean in my emotion?
I walk in stores, some young people look so miserable. One girl said to me, "You always come in cheerful." I said, "You won't see me getting wrinkles
being miserable." Them old ladies, that was the best advice. Like, don't be frowning, baby. It's gonna set them wrinkles in really bad. You don't want that.
Yes, indeed.
The more
and
you
they
smile.
notice happy. They notice happy girls. Y'all happy women. Y'all happy girls. They don't like that shit one bit.
I appreciate
the hell
ones
you
who
doing
do though.
happy,
So you
walking
know,
around
yeah,
happy
I mean,
and shit.
you know, it's
Loving
real
up on
life.
shit.
You think this is new to Mrs. She said? Absolutely not. Doc chimed in. He said, wave it. If they pay attention, they will realize it is not meant to hurt anyone or anything. It's facing the reality of the situation. Those who belong will enter.
That's right. Check in. Check in.
Absolutely.
The emergency room is jumping.
Crazy in here. Yeah.
Please
be
keep
prepared
doing what you're doing. We have to
that
enter
shock
somewhere.
treatment.
Let us know where to show up. Got it, Doc. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Sis said, CSI. Blaze checked in. Growing up, the PBS show Reading Rainbow and Ghost Rider were very influential in developing my love for reading and writing.
Absolutely.
Every head must do its own thinking. Take a look.
Yeah, we didn't have nothing. We didn't have anything. So all we had was pencils and papers and the library.
Rainbow.
And then shout out to Step Pops. You know, he had the encyclopedia. Books was, oh man.
There is a difference with addressing shame
and shaming people.
Oh, absolutely. A lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
don't know the differentiating.
You know, America
qualities
lacks
and
comprehension. I'm not
characteristics.
surprised. The weak masses are going to want you to go away from real talk, real life, critical thinking, etc. You are where you belong. Thank you, Doc. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We've been talking shit on the stoops for 30 years. So, you know,
and we know how to cater
to this
and
platform.
curtail conversation and rhetoric and jargon.
I try.
Existed with each other for 26 years. Like we weren't always able, and you know, going to put our argument, our articulation the same way all the time. Sometimes you got to change up, you know, your rhetoric for the audience. So, you know, we will be still waving our flag, but we just going to be doing it inside the hospital, depending on what you need. You guys check out our Facebook page. He said, she said. It is filled with a lot of informative information on conscious parenting. The group page is still popular.
And we also got Baltimore City County Homeschool Unite page on Facebook. So you can also check that out for some homeschool information or just some any kind of information. It's a lot of strategies and tips on there for educating our children. So,
and we will drop links in our description as well as clips and, you know, homage to the videos that we watched tonight. Anybody that contributes to our stream via Cash App and anybody that comes up on the panel. That's journalistic integrity right there. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Got to do it. Better gonna.
A
minute.
Bing bang. Take his microphone and usher him out.
I like that though. Okay. Better gonna need them to show you their conscious in training insurance.
Come on, Sarah. God damn it. Where's your card at? I don't see your conscious parenting card. No, you are good, Sarah. You ain't got a please. Yo, I don't see your conscious parenting card, brother. Can you whip it out?
They got that black card.
Can you whip it out, please? Pause. Wait a minute. That sounded crazy.
Creep on in, on in, Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So good.
Joke.
So good, sis.
Okay. So the hospital's open, like I said, Mrs. Harris. Before we get out of here, I got one more clip I want to share with you. You mind?
No, I don't. Let's go.
Maybe two then.
Hospital. Oh Lord.
Since you're so obliging.
Yeah.
All right. Let's check this out.
Thinking about learning. They're not thinking about scoring high. They're not thinking about the AP class. They're not thinking about the college prep class. All they want to be is football, basketball, and rap. Listen, I speak at career days every year for 30 years. For 30 effing years.
You just said still. He just said 30 years.
I mean, still, y'all.
30 years.
Same dreams, but they don't. Any little kid I ask, they want to be an influencer. I get a teacher here and there, but
Christ.
And when I ask the black boys what they want to be, it's been consistent since 2020. This is 2023. 2020 when I got out of grad school. Football, basketball, and rap. So if you socializing your son for athletics and entertainment, he don't think he got to take school seriously because after all, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. And what nobody is telling him is you have a greater chance of being struck by lightning. I don't know if y'all know this. You have a greater chance of being struck by lightning than becoming a multi-million-dollar professional athlete. But you got every black man trying to relive their failed athletic dreams through their sons. That's crazy. If you didn't make it, that's on you. Why are you going to force your son to try to rescue your failed ego? He got to make it to the NFL because you didn't.
See where the consciousness comes in at?
I mean, you
very conscious then.
Just like those pageant moms.
Very conscious then. Just like LeBron's mom and Kevin Durant's mom. Again, you know, you could say it's like getting struck by lightning, but tell that to LeBron's mom because he made it. Tell that to KD's
But he's
mom.
one
Tell that
in-
to Carmelo Anthony's
one
mom.
in a
You're
billion.
right, but
Right.
somebody got to be the one.
Right.
And they think that they're going to be that one. There's no consciousness. Everybody's living in Disney. You are a princess. You are the best. You are the man of the house. You are the strongest.
You
are
gonna
the
get us out
cutest.
this hood. I'm gonna get my mama out this hood. My mama house.
The consciousness,
Yeah, that's-
it lies in certain areas,
Still.
but only certain areas. Not let's go ahead and give you a plan B. Let's get some encyclopedias in here. Let's promote and prioritize something different. Coding, law, STEM, something psychological. You see me slinging tiles every day,
Slinging?
grabbing heavy shit,
Yeah,
driving
oh, Lord.
dirty shit, coming home chalky, dirty. You like, nigga, you can't do this forever. And
Can't
I'm
do it
thinking,
forever.
like, I can't. She's right. I might have to go back to school, learn something different so I could sit in front of a computer for 8 hours and make the same money, maybe better, and expend less energy. But that was consciousness.
Absolutely. And if we had the tag team, I gotta jump back into work for you to do that. Absolutely.
Tag team back again.
You got
Check
to
it,
be the
direct
tag
it.
team.
Let's
Yep.
begin.
Oh, I gotta go to work. You gotta go to school. Oh, you gotta do this. Life changes, and it's hard to adapt to that. But we're teaching we're showing them, because we're not teaching them. We're showing them that we're not adaptable.
Talk
Everything's
about
a fucking uproar. You know. Oh,
Pre-offended. Everything's
absolutely.
a problem.
Mad snooty with the
Everything
kids, man.
is- absolutely.
Y'all are so dismissive with the children out in the street. I mean, you act like you hate them. You know how many times I'd be like, I want to take them kids home. Can I have them? But you act like you don't even like them. And this is the society we living in. I'm telling you, if I didn't have, I'd probably be bringing home all kind of straight people. I'll be bringing home straight people. I ain't got no discipline. I'm serious. You need some help? Come live in my house. It's not okay though, because everybody ain't worth that energy. So be selective. Have some standards.
My son said he wanted to be principal and make lots of money when he was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten. As a principal. Yeah, he didn't know no better. Oh, here they make a lot of money though. I'm like,
I have to tiptoe around everything you say. It's not politically correct. Yeah, we become politicians. We speak like it's a presidential debate. And like he said in the first clip, it's a presidential year. It's going to be a lot of bullshit flying around. But like Cat Williams said, 2024 is going to be a year calling out bullshit. If you got any nuts, if you got any ovaries, you ain't going to stand by on your watch and let the bullshit go on, or people fucking celebrate the bullshit, because we don't do that shit either. You want to celebrate that shit? Stay over there with that shit. Don't come over here, because we don't do that over here. Mrs. Harris, do we do that over here?
No.
We don't.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Will you disrespect?
What's funny is I gotta tell this story because the kids are older, right? So to have them reflect on if they remember me and daddy like arguing or hearing anything, and when they tell the story, they be cracking up. They literally be cracking up when they be telling, you know, their experience of reflecting if they remember us may have having an argument or something. So I'm just reflecting on it because we was just talking about it the other day. Madison remembers one was about some pumpkins, so she's always laughing about this shit. Okay. So, you know, children reflect on things differently. And again, us parents really need to be conscious about the things that are affecting them and you're not even aware.
True indeed.
You know?
True indeed.
I'm glad that they can laugh, you know, that mommy and daddy had an argument. Yeah. You know, we're not perfect over here. So, yeah, yo, you better grow some ovaries. That's right, ladies. Y'all ain't got no balls. You will never have balls. Let's get back to reality of words and what they mean. Grow some goddamn ovaries.
Yeah, they quick to tell you the STD and
come on, y'all. Be for real.
And
I was there, but at 17, grow up. Grow up.
I've seen women allude to a D swinging contest. Oh, so we about to have a D swinging contest. And man said, hold up, we can't do that because you ain't got no D. How we even?
They ain't never learned how to talk to boys and men.
Consciousness?
I mean, No, lack of training from their mama. They don't like to hear me say that shit.
I got to take this away for this one because the consciousness that, like I was telling you the other day, we come up in these hoods, right? We come up in neighborhoods and communities, and our mothers tell us all the same thing, 3-4 things. She not boo boo the fool. You know how I go. Nobody better not ride your bike, right? And the third one is if somebody hits you, Mrs. Harris, finish that for me.
You better whoop their ass. You better hit them back. Pick up anything on the street, knock them upside their head.
You better hit them back. So if we're raised in communities like that, when do we get the switch or the knob that we turn off? That, you know, when someone hits you, you just walk away. When someone hits you, you be the bigger person and yada, yada, yada. Is that an adult thing? Is that consciousness? Do we all not have that consciousness? Do some of us have it, like I said, with a dial?
I don't know. Somebody hit me, babe. I'm hitting them back. I don't know if that's ever going to turn off. But now walking away from some type of assault, verbal assault, because I was absolutely attacked.
Right.
So now when does that happen? I don't know. I would for me, I would have to say my righteousness awoken, you know, especially when it came to the children.
Okay.
I don't want to lose my life or hurt somebody else to where they're not going to have me anymore or assault someone while they're with me. So to me, it's their wellness that's in my consciousness to stop me from acting a fool or walking away.
Sis laughing.
But you hit me now, I'm hitting your ass back.
Said that is the most disrespectful thing to say to a man or to anyone at that. Absolutely. Calling a man a bitch, calling him a bitch ass
Telling him to
nigga.
suck your
Especially
bang.
when you're a woman and you have no idea, you know, what a bitch man is, because a man will pick you up and earth slam you in another universe.
Yeah.
If you didn't have all of the protection and provisions again. So for you to just be flipping off at the mouth, calling a man anything, zesty, spicy,
anything,
all of that,
especially,
you know, it's very disrespectful. But this is where we are. Lack of consciousness. And with all the provisions and precautions, you also played a video of a young lady being deleted by police because she didn't listen. She didn't put down the knife. And again,
she called for protection. And they came to protect her.
And she still
didn't relinquish.
Lack of consciousness.
Goodness
Lack
gracious.
of consciousness. And again, the well-roundedness, even when it's not well. What is the opposite of well-roundedness? If something is not well, then it's sick. So sick-roundedness. That's sick-roundedness. Some people can just be sick in all different areas. You don't listen to anybody. You don't get along with anybody.
Right. Every way, shape, or form. Yeah.
So you're sickness rounded. Let's bring it back, Doc. Let's see what he's talking about.
It's not fair to the child.
Not just that, the insecurities in those same fathers, because they aren't academics themselves. You feel insecure and even reading with your kids. Like,
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you might can't even read that good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you might not know math. They call quote the new math. Like, you know, I'm a math nerd, but I used to tutor.
New math.
I mean, I get it. Because, of course, I'm an educator, right? So I see the difference on how they're teaching them. But you know it. Teach them your way. It don't matter. They get another way to learn it. It's not like they're not capable of learning it the way we learn.
Gotcha.
But they do be giving them different strategies on how to do certain problems, you know, when it comes to math.
But again, that consciousness in us as well, gentlemen,
you know, we can't do something.
We have to be able to help our children with their algebra, with their statistics,
reading,
with geometry and world history and global studies. These things are important, and lack of consciousness, you're not going to be a fruitful, you know, educator, a fruitful tutor, a fruitful advocate of their education.
How are you going to check it? Right?
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
The kids in math because their parents couldn't tutor them.
I can see
I'm
that.
talking about sixth grade math, my nigga.
But that ain't for all of them, though.
No.
You're right, though. I feel that's the reason.
We had an episode called "You're Not Smarter Than a Fifth Grader."
Absolutely.
Because you're not. You're not.
We watch the show all the time.
Do the work all the time. What grade we up to?
4th grade.
smarter than a damn fifth grade.
Ciao. You think you retained all that information, right? We went in there, you got good grades and all that. Yeah, you have principals on there. You have people with psychology degrees and all of that, and they flunk out. I don't know how many of them actually made it. It's not many, but it's a great show.
Out like, yo,
there's also another, and it's not done on purpose, but there's also another sad thing of a lot of us are not educated. Like me myself, I dropped out.
Yeah,
but you can read, write, and count.
But I can read, write, and count. And for my son or somebody, they might look at me like, oh, my dad figured out and made it to some degree. So if he's able to make it under that means, then why would I have to be living up to a different standard of you pushing on me? So that's why, like, for me, purposely, when I have conversation, it's literally don't look at what I've went through, the struggle, what I've made, and even if I've made it through that to this point, you should be looking to do better.
I don't want you.
Mrs. Harris?
Oh, that's one thing, we stress. You ain't me.
Talk about it.
You are not me. And you are not your father. It's not the same situation, So, yeah, I agree with them gentlemen.
Absolutely.
But I can rewrite and count. And for my son or somebody, they might look at me like, oh, my dad figured out and made it to some degree. So if he's able to make it under that means, then why would I have to be living up to a different standard of you pushing on me? So that's why, like, for me, purposely, when I have conversation, it's literally don't look at what I've went through, the struggle, what I've made, and even if I've made it through that to this point, you should be looking to do better.
I don't want you sleeping on no couches and no floors. You just don't know what I went through.
That's true. But there's a couple things. Number one, the black community doesn't push black excellence academically.
Sure.
We do not celebrate high achieving children.
Call it
Think
white
about it. When is the last time you seen a celebration by the community, not the school, for high achieving children?
True.
Consciousness.
Wow.
The lack of consciousness, the lack of, 2024, y'all.
We've been here, 7 years? 6, 7?
Going on 7.
Yeah. Baltimore today have a lot of block parties for
passings,
memorials.
In memorials.
And people coming home from jail.
Absolutely.
Seen it firsthand. Lots too. People pull up gifts for real. Money. Gifting cars. Yeah. It's quite unique. So our consciousness is lacking. Our kids are watching that. They seeing it be praised, and I grew up with men who said that it was a way of passage for some men in our communities, some boys in our communities to see or touch the prison and jail. And for that to not have changed in 30 years, I mean, it's sad. It's sad. It's disgraceful to say the least. To not know that education is needed, and that to not have been pushed. And still not being pushed, like the brothers said, it's sports and, rap. That education is not pushed. So we wonder why we have so many men that can't lead and they lack intelligence and integrity and some other shit.
But we will celebrate Mike,
who
we know smoking weed and don't go to school, but he just won the national football championship.
Damn, Mike.
Right.
He all over the damn newspaper, church. You see, so we got to look at the example we're laying out to our children. That's number one. Number two, we got to bring the trade skill programs back into the school. If I was superintendent or governor of New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut, all the trades is coming back. Auto body, plumbing, HVAC, roofing, electric, barbering, carpentry, because you can always feed your family if you got a skill that can pay the bill. I majored in psychology. The only reason why I ain't broke is because black people crazy and they need mental health.
God damn. Shout out to my brother Hank.
Trades and the skills absolutely need to come back in. Or parents be conscious, and there's other options. The federal government has a whole program called Job Corps, as early as 16. Shit, you can get your GED, you leave with a whole trade, they assist with everything, and it's free. They leave with money. They leave with all kinds of bonuses. There's a whole crew of people to help them get out into the real world, whether they want to go to college, they can stay in there and earn college credits. It is a lot, but while they're in there, they're learning a skill. And I'm talking about plumbing, engineering, things that can make them some really good money. Until their knees, until they get into something else. But I'm just saying, these things are important to know that they have all of these options, especially if they live in a shitty environment. They can live on campus at 16 to 24, Job Corps. So if anybody's looking for something like that, most states have them. And they're much different than, back in the day when there was a lot of violence and horrible things going on.
Meaning that they're better or worse?
They've gotten better. No, they've gotten much better. The zero tolerance. They used to allow a lot of stuff to, happen, of course, everywhere, right? So they implemented a lot of.
It's 2023. We saying Job Corps is better now with the phones and the sexual innuendos and the
That's always going to be in anywhere and everywhere. It's just another option.
Okay,
that's all. It's another option.
I'm just being clear again. I'm just asking for clarity.
And I'm just telling you
for the viewers.
Yeah, it's just another option. They can do their own research.
Coming back. Auto body, plumbing, HVAC, roofing, electric, barbering, carpentry, because you can always feed your family if you got a skill that can pay the bill. I majored in psychology. The only reason why I ain't broke is because black people crazy and they need mental help. You understand? You see what I'm saying?
Right. No,
I lucked up in my profession.
It's a lot of psychology.
But here's something though. I want everybody to understand. When you're dealing with special ed, you can only get an IEP if the disability affects your learning in a regular class. Your daughter autistic. I'm going to ask you, can she learn in a regular class? You're going to say yes. She's just a little awkward socially, a little quirky, but she can learn. She don't get no IEP.
She'll never get
Your son got ADHD, Joe. He all over the place, but he's straight A's and B's. Can he get an IEP? No, because in order for you to get an IEP, the disability has to affect your learning. Your son got ADHD, but he's straight A's and B's. He can't qualify. But I bet you if I go to Jersey City, I see black kids in special ed who probably smarter than the kids in the regular class.
100%.
You know why? Because their parents don't know their rights. They don't know the law, and the white teachers are signing them up for special ed.
Consciousness, awareness is very important, or our children could be railroaded into a situation, life, future that's not even their own. It's one that was bestowed upon them. But because we don't, be hands-on as parents, be conscious as parents, these can be the outcomes. Thoughts?
I mean, that's what the teachers are being educated to do, to judge your children and put them in a category and give them some drugs. So it's not to make them better functional humans, adults. So it's on the parents to do that. Don't let them take control of your children.
Because they want them out the class.
Yes. True.
And the problem is we are signing. See, remember now, nobody can go to special ed without the parent's signature. You sign your name 4 times before Dr. Umar can qualify for special ed. You sign permission for me to test the kid. You agree with my eval, second signature. You sign the IEP, and then you sign the special ed service agreement. Without those 4 signatures, you don't go to special ed.
Consciousness. And again, how many people would say, I don't know what I was signing. Like, you didn't read it? No, who reads these things? Who reads these disclosures and disclaimers and agreements? They so long and so, I just signed it. You're signing your child away from lack of consciousness.
Sadly. Or to get a check. If the school say you got a problem, I take that to the state and now I get a check.
So every black kid in special ed, yes, we blame the system, but you got to look at the parents. Because if you didn't sign them up, I can't test your child if you don't sign.
Well, some schools,
I cannot take your child from the class to my office without a signed piece of paper. And by the way, this is all a hustle. the schools get paid.
Yeah, I was about
you
to
know
say,
this.
When you started talking about that special ed program and they get state
they
funding,
get twice as much money.
Yeah.
Well, no, and then some parents are scared into having to sign it away because some schools will tell you if you do not go ahead and process this,
they work together.
Then we need to remove your child from this school,
which is illegal.
Which I know
nobody
is illegal,
can expel a child except the school board. And if your child goes to a charter school, the charter school board of directors has to have a hearing with the family, and then they expel.
Do you think parents have this consciousness, Mrs. Harris?
No. They don't know their rights. I mean, it's something I used to push, for 20 something years. You have to know your rights as a parent, but they're too busy. They're not present, a lot of them, some that are. Yeah. So here we are. Hope they listening.
I've been a principal before. You can't expel kids. Not in a public school, not in a charter school. Only a school board can expel. So when they tell you we're going to disinvite your kid if you don't put them on special ed or get them some meds, it's illegal. It's illegal. But parents don't know that, and they need to know that. And if I was to give your parents a couple tips, tip number 1, don't sign nothing you don't read. Number 2, never go to a school meeting by yourself. If you got a child, Queen, I'm telling you, take Joe with you, take this brother with you. You don't go by yourself because all they're going to do is gang up on you, bully you, intimidate you, and force you to do what they want. You never go to a school meeting by yourself.
Consciousness is important. Caring about these children's best interest. It's important in all of these things. You're not going to do these things if you do not care about that child's best interest.
I can't even imagine that kind of intimidation. I can't. But I know a lot of parents struggle with that, and again, don't know their rights because, we've met quite a few people who have had some struggles dealing with the school and their children, in this type of situation. So they can be bullies. And again, I agree with him. Have someone go with you. And if you're not a strong enough character of person, have someone that who will assist you in advocating for you and your child, not someone that's going to go in there and act a fool and turn the goddamn table up. Okay. We don't need nobody going to jail or getting beat up.
Sarah checked in.
Too many kids on SSI and really don't need it. Parents using their disability and living off of their kids' income and spending their settlements. Right.
Jesus Christ.
None of the money is going to resources for the children or manipulative toys to, keep them occupied or fucking jamboree classes so they can exert all that extra energy. You understand what I'm saying? So, utilize that money that's given to you, because we're kind of paying for that too.
Absolutely.
Number 3, never get a kid tested for special ed if they 3rd grade or younger. If they 3rd grade or younger, I can't prove that's a reading disability. I can't prove that's math. I can't prove that's emotional disability. You can't prove ADHD in no 5, 6-year-old. So why
and
the
they
school
just
pushing
put
it?
all that shit under ADHD. Like, dog, stop.
Yeah,
they want the money. It's a hustle.
It's a hustle. That's
and it's
great.
turning black children into a permanent underclass.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
reason that
You are
parents
correct.
are so oblivious is the way the school sells special ed.
Yes.
I would sign up for it if I wasn't a school.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they say he's going to get extra time, smaller class. He ain't going to get suspended no more. You see this? He's going to get one-on-one help. The way they sell this shit, why wouldn't you?
Because I'm conscious. Again, just the bombardment, he said, the overwhelming, selling it like it's this brand new product, the best thing since sliced bread. All of these things are indications from this such a problematic child. You were just telling me it's such a problem 5 minutes ago. It's so, disrespectful to a society when we as parents live this oxymoron, Mrs. Harris. I love these children and I have their best interests at heart. I want nothing but good things for them. Don't hurt the children.
Talking
no,
points.
not my children. Not my children. Feed him a grape or something. No. How about check his homework? No. Could you instill morals and values and integrity, some dignity in him? No.
I mean, it's less responsibility for you. If you do get this program implemented, right? Because now it's everybody else. I got this program for you. Ain't this helping you? And da 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 da. When it's all you, it's all you. It's the environment. It's the way you treat the kid. It's the way you responded to the kid. It's all of what you didn't do before they went to fucking school. You have them from the time they come out your vagina till about 5 years old. Should do more. Reading starts very early, and these are things that young parents need to. It's not just young parents, because old parents ain't doing that either. So stop blaming the young parents. Okay. It's not about the age thing, because you can be 30 years old and still act like you fucking 14. So, let's stop throwing that out there. But all of y'all, everybody needs to know when children are coming to give this type of information to these upcoming parents. Read every day with that new baby. They need to see your mouth move, the vernacular, the tongue movement, all of it. Like, it's very important. In dual house homes where you guys speak 2 different languages, speak both languages. Speak both languages. Say everything in one language and say it in English, and they're gonna pick those things up really quickly.
She filling your head with he said, she said.
And they stop being fun. Our babies stop being fun at some point, right? So we want to put them down.
Well, goddamn.
It's not fun no more. It's not a pair of shoes. This shit ain't shiny no more. Once about 18 months, 21 month range, shit ain't cute. They start talking. They start saying, no.
Damn, son.
And mean it. Ooh.
Damn, son. Where
you taught them that. You taught them that real well. Yeah. There's other words besides no to redirect them. Sarah Chanda. And that's why it's good to have a care manager if you have IDD, because they will advocate for them and will make sure that they are working on his goals and safeguards and activities. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a lot of things that are implemented. Yes, goals need to be met. And these are things that you can instill at home. You can, if it's a routine that you have starting off very early in their years, it's something that can continue. And anytime you get off the map a little bit, those charts will get you back on.
Absolutely.
Baby, you always see me making some new charts.
Shout out to the charts. It's always a chart. It's always a chart. I mean, what was the latest chart that you guys made? Work now and play later?
Yeah, work first, play later.
Okay. So work is its first category,
Mm-hmm.
and inside of work has
all kind of different schoolwork, independent work.
Okay.
That she can do on her own.
Okay.
And first has a lot of things that we do together as far as schoolwork.
Okay.
And the work part, the first part also had chores and things inside there. I'm still figuring it out in my brain.
I got you.
Yeah.
And she can choose from any of these things to do independently.
Absolutely.
And got you.
Yep.
Okay. So work first and then play.
Play later. So in the play, it's all different types of things she can choose from, whether it's board games, manipulative, doing a science project. It's so many things on there. I can't even. We got a lot of creative things to do. And the last one is more outside stuff. It's a little bit more of, intertwined, whether we all playing board games, card games, and things like that. So
shout out to Uno.
Yes. Cooking is in there. We do a lot of baking and
shout out to the game of life.
Chemistry, baby. It's chemistry.
Shout out to Monopoly.
Mouthful. We like that. It's pretty. We got old school stuff like Trivial Pursuit, and we just read the cards. And the game part.
Shout out to Clue.
Yeah. It's more so the trivia.
But we definitely are a big boy game, big card game.
And Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? That's
family time. Everybody get in a circle and let's get to it. Let's work on this competitiveness. Let's work on camaraderie and how to behave when things don't go your way. All of this is going to happen in this game. So let's go ahead.
Oh, the critique circles is.
Get to it.
Nobody likes that.
Because nobody tell you the reality of this shit. He gonna end up in prison. He ain't gonna never learn how to read.
I was wild in school. I was the smartest motherfucker.
And now you got a situation now where they giving out certificates of completion. You don't even get a diploma. You get a paper that says certificate of completion. You went to school for 12 years. but didn't learn enough to get a regular high school diploma. Yes,
but you completed.
And let me. And guess what?
Oh, you don't know.
I heard that.
No. Yeah. Not just that. What about all the fees and the dues and shit? If you don't pay that $600 or whatever the school requires, you're not able to get your.
No, I hear you, but you're just a little off. Again, that's for people that's graduating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay your senior dues for your cap and your gown,
But like
and to go on the senior trip. These are for people that are failing, sweetie. They went to kindergarten through 12th grade. They get a certificate of completion. You done here. You got to go. You can't be around these kids. You 20-something years old. You ain't get this shit yet. You can't come back here. So we give you this certificate.
We had a few of them.
It's like a diploma light. It's like a diet diploma. It's a certificate of completion. So you can always say, I completed high school. Or like he said, when you go to jail or get shot before you get 40, they could say he completed high school. They wouldn't be lying.
Right.
Right?
Damn.
You wouldn't be lying. Still good things your mama could say about you at your funeral. My baby ain't never hurt nobody. He completed high school. Fucking certificate of completion. We got fucking SAT diplomas, like special regents diplomas.
Yeah.
These niggas get certificates of completion. Conscious parenting. We allow these things, these shortcuts for our children, these reading levels for our children. We live in Baltimore City where there's graduates walking around the city that graduated high school, but we gonna be honest with y'all, they ain't graduate no fucking high school. They should have not left that goddamn building. They not bright.
And it's not shaming. It's real true. It's statistically true. There's been a lawsuit been in play for some years now, for the last 40 years of people being educated here and the school system failing
pushing them through.
So this is really something that's absolutely happening, and has been happening. I'm sure this is not the only city that it's been happening in. So shout out to America and their indoctrination system. And we keep repeating it. I mean, I saw that they was failing my brothers, and I think that was my consciousness of
they were failing them or passing.
No, they were failing them as far as the institution goes. Because my mother again can only do what she could do with the education that she had. Again, breaking cycles. But I think that's where my consciousness was, knowing we all grew up together, saw how intelligent was, but they just wasn't grasping. They didn't have nobody hands-on there, to assist or help with it. So it kind of made me focus like that.
Gotcha.
I didn't want them to struggle going to school. Sarah chimed in. I would have did the FAST program at my son's school, and we did projects together, and then free play, and then we would at the end we would write a letter telling them how important and special they are. So
absolutely,
fun. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
Just the encouragement that we give Madison, that she's so funny and witty and just wise to be growing up around these older people in the minds, and she she grabs that, she holds on to that, and it builds her confidence, and she has a certain personality.
And they don't like to be critiqued either. So if you take them compliments and that praise, you're gonna have to take some of these critiques too. So the challenging and watching them go through that and see grown women still do it.
Indeed.
Rapidly. It's amazing,
And just the conversations that we have pointing out, like, look, this is what has to be trained up and trained out of these young ladies. And we see it every day in this 9-year-old, like the selfishness, the indecisiveness, like it's all there. And if we don't get her to practice to not do it, practice becomes perfect, and then she just becomes an expert. That's on us.
Right.
We have to point out, no, Madison, this is not an acceptable way to act in response to not getting your McDonald's or not. No, we're not doing that.
You thought you was going to stay up all night. Absolutely. And then you were told to go to bed
every night.
Anything. Yeah. Anything they don't want to do. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. And we expect it.
So me and mommy are going to huff and puff and pout on Christmas morning. How that work out? You don't want to wake up now. We not in a good mood tomorrow. Right. Would that be good? If we pick that day, we're going to pick a day that we want to act like how you're acting right now. And we pick Christmas morning.
Right.
So just sleep. You can sleep extra, sleep longer.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she sees that like, wait a minute. No, I don't want y'all acting like that. Right. Yeah. That's how we don't deserve you to act like that to us. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, these lessons, maybe it's because we, almost 100
years old. That's what I was saying. And we just saying the same stuff. You try to keep the same standards and structure because you saw it worked. They good, decent adults, people. So now I appreciate that. So the structure and standards and value, especially them valuing themselves, they won't present themselves out into the world frivolously, to mishandle themselves. And that I absolutely appreciate.
Yes, indeed.
Because I was out in the streets.
Let's finish up.
I was wild in school. I was the smartest motherfucker.
And now you got a situation now where they giving out certificates of completion. You don't even get a diploma. You get a paper that says certificate of completion. You went to school for 12 years, but didn't learn enough to get a regular high school diploma.
But you completed.
And guess when they tell you want to get it. Let's say graduation June 10th. Your mother gonna get a letter June 1st. You did not meet New Jersey basic requirements to earn a high school diploma. You will be getting a certificate of completion. And you know what you gonna say as the father? We've been having IEP meetings every year. Why you never told me my daughter wasn't gonna get no
reassessment?
IEP? You know why they didn't tell you? Because they was getting that damn money.
Conscious parenting, y'all promote conscious parenting.
Dig into that a little bit. Yeah, that's unique. So if they got the IEPs, they can get all the way up into 12th grade and they won't get a high school diploma?
Not if they didn't meet the curriculum, the requirements. No, they will not.
No. And they want to stop the money. It's a hustle.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't open up a charter school. Because if Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey would have.
Yeah, we're gonna stop right there.
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
Thank you for that.
Conversation.
He started talking about the school. We're gonna click off from there. You know why we're gonna click off? Because we don't agree with everything that people say. Right. We agree with some stuff, but we don't agree with everything.
Rick, your shots fired the first call.
Lying. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
But we appreciate the clip. We appreciate that information. We appreciate, the soundbite for, just something for us to build on in regards to conscious parenting. So shout out to them for that. And that's what I wanted to chop it up with you about, Mrs. I know you got to run and grab one of the little ones from
big grown ones
work. And I might chill out for a couple of minutes just because you got to ride. I want to be able to stay up and chill out. So what did you think of tonight?
At least the thunderstorms stopped.
It did subside.
It was nasty. Goodness gracious.
It did earlier. So what do you got? Final thoughts for tonight? What did you think of tonight?
I thought it was awesome. I appreciate the way you put that together. 2024, we should definitely be more conscious and more aware of what's happening around us, not just in our homes, in our children's schools, man, and in their lives, because they're going to be adults one day, and you don't want to have to send them to the Kennedy Krieger Institute. You know what I mean? All this mental problems and just it's so much going on that they can adapt, and we can grab a hold of them before it gets too bad. But again, it takes the consciousness. And just for all of us to know how poorly our schools have been over a long time, because, they talk about it on the news. It's not like it's not out there. So we definitely need to be a little bit more conscious with how we're moving with our children, because they are. Goodness gracious.
True indeed.
Yeah.
True indeed. Nice conversation, Mrs. Thank you for cooling out with me.
I appreciate it.
Like I said, I'm gonna chill out for a couple of minutes here. If anybody want to
y'all pull up and pop in, keep me company,
questions, or smoke, feel free. Mrs. got to run and grab one of the little ones. I keep calling them little ones. They're not little. They always look little to me. I don't know, for some reason. I always see them in that light. But we got through the information, so I get to cut up for a second. How y'all doing out there? I'm one half of He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance. I am Mr. He Said. This is After Hours.
I'll be right here.
Me and Pumpernickel will be chilling with you for a couple of minutes. And you know what? I ain't even chilling. I'm out of here. I got something else that I could work on. Something for I got the ladies coming up on Saturday. Shout out to the Lionesses. They will be up here. The ones that are available. And if they're not available to make it, we will make it a reoccurring thing so that we can give these amazing ladies a platform and an opportunity to share their experiences, being amazing content creators, and smoke comments and questions that they get. None other than Red Lipstick Vibes. Take heed to the message. Marriage to Date and Support, which is Lady Di. It's Michelle, Mona D, Bella Rings, The Real Precious, Family Values TV, The Wife School Podcast, Almond Eyes 78, J Mac. Those are the Lionesses. Not sure who's going to be here Saturday, but I will have a couple of them or more in the building. Looking forward to having them over. I got some amazing questions, amazing commentary for them, and we're going to get to know them and a little bit about their platforms. Shout out to y'all. Y'all know how much we love y'all over here, how much we love the work that you ladies do on the street, and this one's for y'all. Shout out to the Lionesses. Yo, appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. I will be back on Saturday. I will have the ladies in the building. It will be an amazing conversation. The missus will be back on Sunday. And we will keep waving our flag, man. Promote conscious parenting out there. These little ones need conscious parents, man. They need somebody that is willing to take one for the team, that's willing to lay down on the sword for them, to show them, prove to them, give them the confidence, the esteem necessary by knowing that they are loved, that their best interest is held near and dear to our hearts, and that some people want better for them, even if it's people that are not their parents. If we love your children more than you, it is what it is. But it all starts with conscious parenting. And you guys remember to be good to somebody other than yourself. That's when real character shines through. And we see y'all out here in these streets, man. Peace.
BOS on the track.
You on the track.